right. Once again, I am diving into your theories about what we are going to see in season 3, which is coming soon. Coming so soon. Okay, in this video, which because I've already recorded it, so I'm coming back at the end to try and do a spoiler warning. Towers of Midnight. I think it's Towers of Midnight again. Ugh, not my fault this time, though. It was one of the theories that was fault. It was not my fault. So, to blame Alex. Alex, it's your fault. The theories go as far as Towers of Midnight, which is the second to last series in the books. So if you've not read that far, bye. But if you have, let's go.
Let's be nerdy with Let's Be Nerdy. Let's be nerdy with Let's Be Nerdy.
All right, let's begin these theories. I changed my angle because I realized while editing, I'm always covering up Nynaeve. I don't know, I gotta figure out the organization of the posters. I don't want to be covering up my girl. And look, now you can see Siuan back there too. Got all of them up on the wall, but you can only see some on my wall, my virtual wall. I don't know how this looks. Tell me what you think, but I really want to be able to see Nynaeve. Anyway, the first theory we're going to look at today, from Alex, the Dark One. The Elaine Avienda scene will be fade to black so viewers can speculate. I mean, that's in keeping with the books. Yes, the Elaine Avienda scene. So, okay, he's saying, like, the Elaine Avienda scene, I guess we saw a still of them with it. There was definitely smolder in that shot. So, we will get, like, an allusion to them maybe having some smooches, some sapphic smooches. I don't know. I don't think the show would shy away from it. Like, this to me, this so viewers can speculate, I feel like it feels a little too like 90s, early 2000s. We're not, although I know things are rolling back, we're becoming more and more conservative apparently, but I don't think we need to do that. If they're going to do it, I think they will just show. That's just my take on this. I also think if they're going to do it and then have them be in a relationship with Rand as well, if the show is going to do the polyamory that exists in the books, which is not polyamory, actually. In the books, it's polygamy. It's very clearly polygamy. You never see the other way around. The only allusion to anybody else doing it the other way around is Morel, and that is not shown in a good light. So, yeah, anyway, that's a whole thing. Just, again, sorry, part of what happens there, my brain is tries to figure out how far the spoilers have to go. So, yeah. But I think if the show is going to try and do that and make the relationship more polyamorous, like between Rand and the three women, instead of just him having a harem, I think they need to show it. I think they need to give the relationships between the women as much weight as the relationships between them and Rand. Otherwise, it's going to have the feel that I feel even when like people talk about shipping them. My brain does not feel good with it because my brain reads it as, yeah, that just makes it more, like it's more gross, more male gazy in that instance, just because it's, oh yeah, no, the girls also kiss each other and that's hot too. Like it's, I don't like it. Anyway, that's just my take on this though. I do not know. I don't even know if they're going to have them smooch. It'd be weird. Like, I don't want it in the books, but in the show's been doing that really, really well. I think I shouldn't talk so much about this. That's why these videos take so long. But most Wheel of Time fans that I know and interact with, while we love these books, there is just a general agreement that the romances were not handled well. So, but the show has handled the romances really, really well. So, I'd be curious and interested to see what they do with it. Okay, a theory by I Said He Ghost here. Joiya will be killed in captivity by other hidden Black Ajah to stop her talking about any further activities or Black Sisters. This makes a lot of sense. If they don't do the Slayer thing, which again, I've talked about it multiple times, Slayer is the weirdest, I think, magic in the books, and it's probably the hardest to explain. Like, harder than the Finn, harder than Teleran Riyadh. I still don't understand quite what happens with Slayer, having read these books. I don't even know how many times. So, yeah, if they skip Slayer, then this is probably the next most likely explanation. So, yes. Okay, another one from Alex here. Based off this post on Twitter, So this would be a post by John Tano Targaryen Sedai. Targaryen Sedai, interesting. Okay. Think we and Nynaeve are going to learn that Liandrin and the other Black Ajah didn't want Nynaeve to be trained back in season 2 because she is that much of a threat to them. Interesting. And now with them out of the tower, Nynaeve is likely going to start making leaps and bounds towards learning how to channel. Okay, sorry, I just wanted to read the original tweet. Liandrin held her own and stood so strong through this whole battle. She could really have took anyone in that room, including Siuan. But did anyone notice how Liandrin stepped back as Nynaeve walked into the room? Yeah, she knows her power. She does. I think that was definitely part of the reason why they wanted Nynaeve out of the way. In the books, there is just this idea of just getting Rand's support system away from him. That's why they're getting the girls sent back to Seanched. That's why that was Ishi's plan. But I do think that her power, like Nynaeve's just raw power, even Egwene's raw power doesn't get discussed very much, especially like with the show, because it's always compared with Nynaeve's raw power, and it's a candle in comparison to her son. But Egwene has more raw power than pretty much anybody who's not Nynaeve. Like, it's Egwene, Elaine, Avienda, and then like steps down everybody else. So yes, that makes a lot of sense. This theory about that being the reason that she backed off, like that Alex is saying here, that makes sense. I think another reason, though, it's something I said while watching season 2. I think Liandrin legitimately likes Nynaeve. Like, she's evil, but evil people can like stuff and people and whatever. Like, she liked her son. I think she liked Nynaeve. And I just recorded another video about things I missed in the sneak peek. I didn't miss it. I was going to highlight it, but I thought, it's not, I'm sure everybody caught it. But the way Nynaeve looks at Liandrin in the sneak peek, I see hurt in her eyes, because I think Nynaeve also liked Liandrin and trusted her and looked up to her. And I think that's also a part of the reason of just, I'm not even going to bother. Like, I liked you and I had to betray you. And I think that's Liandrin's reaction here. It's just two people who had genuine, I don't know, affection might not be the right word, because I don't know, respect. They had genuine respect for each other, looking at each other, knowing that they are, like, I was about to say they betrayed each other, but Liandrin legit betrayed Nynaeve. Nynaeve's not betraying Liandrin here, but she is exposing her, and it's just, yeah, it's hard. And a follow-up to that here by Pilks, and very specifically, no attacks were directed at her. She was isolated from the fight, but not engaged. Interesting. So is the theory then that that was intentional by the Black Ajah to not kill her? Because the way I read that, and I'm not saying this is wrong, I'm just, this is interesting, my brain is noodling, but I'll tell you how I read it at first, was that she was a novice, and she was beneath their notice. Like, they threw, one of the blues throws, like, those spinny wheels of death at her, but she doesn't actually throw them at her, she throws them at the pillar. Like, she aims them at the pillars that are surrounding Nynaeve. I think the thought is, of course, to collapse it on as many people as possible, so to do as much damage as possible. If it catches Nynaeve, fine, but I don't care. Like, it's the other people who can actually channel. That's how I read that. I'd be curious to know why, like, in this theory, what your theory would be for why the Black Ajah would be deliberately avoiding attacking Nynaeve. I don't know. Tell me. All right, newsreader theory. Some parts of the male item were in the 13th Depository. Okay, we're on the same page. I've talked about this a lot. And those pieces were the Black Ajah's main target, yes. And the rest of the stolen ter'angreals were just bonuses. I mean, we know that because she says, and whatever else I could take. So she had one objective. Verin was, okay, spoiler, I know where we're going. Okay, Verin was ordered to lead a Black Ajah sister to the 13th Depository, and she intentionally chose the shortest Black sister to limit the number of ter'angreals she could steal. That would be interesting. That's how, Verin thinks. That's how Verin thinks, right? So, and she would know, okay, I'm deciding what order to release my videos in because I'm recording 2 today. But I think the Dream ter'angreal is in there, and the Dream ter'angreal was up high. It was actually above the unclothed woman carving. That's the first ter'angreal that we see Naomi grab, or Naomi, I think is how we pronounce her name, grab. So yeah, that I mean, that I could see that being like calculus that Verin does, because that's how Verin do. Fudgy Vamp. My theory, this is an Aes Sedai shawl? That's a picture of Liandrin. What? Okay, okay, hold on. Let me zoom in. I think, oh, you can't see what I've zoomed in on here. Hold on. Let me make it bigger for you. Okay, are you talking about, because this is the season 3 poster. Are you talking about the thing with the flame of Tarvalon in the front? Oh, that's interesting. That could be, okay, I can see that. Because in the books, the shawls had the flame of Tarvalon on the back of them. So, like I've seen art of that, just, women standing with their backs turned and then the flame of Tarvalon. That could be it. Like just a version of the Tarvalon shawl. I don't know how you would call that a shawl, but yeah, interesting. Like it has, oh, hold on, let me bring my mouse over here so you can see. It has like these tassels down here. Oh, okay. I can see that because, yeah, that's definitely the flame of Tarvalon. Or Tarvalon, I don't know how I'm pronouncing it anymore because the show has messed with my brain. That's interesting. I like that. Okay, another Fudgy Vamp theory. Other theory, there is a door with... I feel so bad because these were released before. This theory must have come out before the sneak peek. A door with snakes, a door with foxes, and a door with both. Oh, maybe not. Oh, okay. And there is no door in the Towers of Andor. Okay. Maybe not. I don't, the dates, February 24th. I have no idea what date the sneak peek came out because time has no meaning. I don't know. But okay. So like the one in the tower would have both snakes and foxes, and then there'd be a door with just snakes and a door with just foxes in other locations. And then no tower in the Woods of Andor. I'm curious as to why that's included in here. Because the other part, I could see that, okay. Yeah, like maybe you go in and you meet both of them, and then if you follow the wishes, you go out one door, you follow the answers, you go out another door. Why no tower in the Woods of Andor? Because like, the Tower of Genji's kind of important later on. I Sunny Ghost here. I don't think I've seen anyone mention Min and her visions yet. I wonder if she will be involved using her visions to hunt down the Black Ajah in Tanchico and or help find objects they need. I don't think she's able to have a vision block, like Nynaeve does with the power. However, she might have wished it, Yeah, I don't think she does. I mean, literally, that was how she got caught in Ishamael's net in season 2, was her attempting to find a way to get out of having visions. Because Nynaeve, Min's power sucks. Like, her power doesn't have power. She can't use her power to influence anything because it will happen. Whether she says anything or not, what she sees will happen. Sometimes because she says it. Like, it's a whole thing. So, if we made her power more powerful, I guess that would be good. That would be interesting. Yeah, giving her like some insight into this, that could also explain why she's there. Because during the Tanchico storyline, let's see, the Tanchico storyline is Shadow Rising. She's with Swan over there, Swan and Lyanna, who's behind my TV. If I had a different angle, you could see Lyanna over there. So she's with Swan and Lyanna as they're trying to find Saladar. So, or basically just escape the tower. So yeah, okay, that could give her a reason to be in Tanchico because we know she's there. All right, this works. Fudgy Vamp again. I predict that Joiya will be remorseful in a chair. We're going to get the chair of remorse. I just like how they said this, and they didn't even have to put spoiler bars on it just because it's... It's definitely book. I don't think we ever... Do we ever see this? Oh, I think we do. I do think we do later on. But yeah... Anyway, it's just funny, because if you don't know, you don't know. But if you know, you know. I don't know if we'll see the Chair of Remorse. We might. That'd be cool if we do. Hey, Newsreader 33. Instead of killing Adeleas, they're going to use her memory wipe to give Verin even more motivation to go after the Black Ajah, like Vandene in the books, any more than she already had. Yeah, I think this is part of what they're going to do. Like, I talked about it in my last... I don't know if it was the theory video or the breakdown video, that theory that Ali had when she was in the Adeleas Vandene storyline, that one of them had turned black in order to protect her sister, and then when her sister died, I think her theory was even that she had to kill her sister, and that was horrifying. That's why she got all depressed. But yeah, although there was speculation, like in the comments, people going back and forth, like, did I think this was going to be her motivation for turning to the Black Ajah in order to root them out and find them, find all of them? That wasn't my thought. My thought, though, although that is interesting and it is a possibility, my thought was more like this. It's a combination of this and what my thought was. My thought was that her turning to the Black had happened in the past as a result of her doing something to protect her sister. And it's in the books, she says she made a mistake. And I talked about this a lot, I think, in season 2. Min's storyline in season 2 reminded me a lot of that part of Verin's story, where we never get the actual answer, but we know that she did something, she made a mistake, and that's how she ended up in the Black Ajah. I could see that being part of it, where she, in attempting to protect, like, do something to protect Adeleas, found herself in a situation where she had no choice other than to turn to the Black Ajah, but she was thinking, well, if I could keep my sister safe, it's worth it. And then this happens. And it's going to be, this is going to be more motivation for her to root out, expose the Black Ajah's soft underbelly as much as she can. The Yellow Ajah will fail to heal Adeleas. Spoiler. Is he going to say then Nynaeve will? Yes, Nynaeve will cure her, but this might not happen this season. I could see that actually totally being the case, and I would love it. I would love it. All right, this is a follow-up comment by Newsreader, and the last one was also by Newsreader, by the way. Anyway, since we have not seen any sign of them in the show, they might make Siuan and Leane warderless like Cadsuane, instead of showing them just before Siuan is deposed and they are killed. Yeah, I think that's the case. Siuan's warder in the books drives me a little crazy, just because she doesn't grieve him at all until she's healed. And I get that, like, that grief is magical, right? Like, it's a grief brought on by the bond. But I would presume that you are friends with your warder, and when they die, you are sad. That is a human response. This is just a follow-up to something I talked about in my last theory video? Where Robert Jordan prioritizes romantic relationships over something like this. Like, where Siuan, I'm just pointing to my poster over here. Yes, Siuan loses her warder, and until magics get involved, she doesn't even think about him, ever. And I get that she has a lot of other shit going on. She's also been stilled, and she's dealing with that. But it makes her seem unhuman. And I bet you $100. There's no way to get cash on this bet at all. $1 million, because there's no way to know. But I would bet you any monies that if instead of her warder, it had been her male lover who had died, he would have spent some time focusing on that grief, because that was a thing that he thought was, those relationships got emotional stakes. Whereas warder, unless it's magic, you don't care about your, that doesn't make any sense. She must have liked her warder. Anyway, that's a whole thing. So yes, I think this. Also, just for the show as well, I think it's a case of, you can only introduce so many characters before people start to get lost, and they are not necessary characters. I don't even know, did Leane was a blue. I don't think she had, did Leane have warders? I don't think so. And another one by a newsreader here. Lanfear gave Liandrin the information she used to accuse Siuan at the hall and destabilize the tower. A broken armorlin is more useful than a dead one. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. We know that Liandrin is in Lanfear's service right now, so yes. And some other Forsaken, probably Moghedian, gave the Black Ajah the information about the male Idom and its location. Interesting. Okay. The Black Sisters were probably willing to play the long game, but Liandrin being exposed gave them the perfect distraction to steal it in one go. That makes sense. I'm curious as to why you think it would have to be another Forsaken, because Liandrin knew about that Idom, which I think is what she's grabbing. I think that she's grabbing the domination bands there. Why would it not be Lanfear? Like, I guess because it is like Moghedian in the books who's basically stalking the domination band there. And yeah, Lanfear wouldn't want it used. Okay. I get it. But that would just mean that two different Forsaken are talking to Liandrin, which is a lot for her to have to deal with. So, okay. I suppose it could be just talking to the Black Ajah in general, but I get the feeling, especially having watched that sneak peek multiple times, that Liandrin is at least in that group the top. Like, when there's that part where Joiya throws a rock and it knocks over the Amyrlin, and Liandrin also falls out, the fighting stops. Both the Team of the Light stop fighting to go and heal Siuan, and the Black Ajah stop to go and heal Liandrin, because Liandrin and Siuan are apparently, they're both sides key. So, yeah. Another newsreader theory: the cold open of season 3 will happen after a 1-month time skip. Okay, yes, I think that's the 11-minute sneak peek has been confirmed to be the cold open by Rafe, and they say 1 month later. So yes, I think that is confirmed. And then the rest of the episode will show us flashbacks on what happened in that 1 month time. That could work. That could totally work. That makes sense to me. Especially, I don't know if you've seen it. I think I saw it posted on Blue Sky. Where did I see it? There was a clip shown on, I think, Good Morning Britain or something. Just another clip of, like, Moiraine talking to everybody. And, okay, it was the interesting thing. In the clip, I should probably find the clip so I could confirm this, but when they introduced the clip, they say that the group is in Falme. They are, like, reunited in Falme. And they are all wearing the clothes that we all thought they were wearing in Tar Valon. So if they are right about that, then we were all wrong that location was Tar Valon. But the reason I'm saying if instead of, obviously they're right, because why would that, like, I don't think the show presenter knows Falme. I think they gave him the location. It's like they gave him the notes to say in that moment. But in that clip also, Moiraine is lecturing the kids. Like, she's literally saying, hey, that bartender, the person who sat you at your table, that person behind you who shined your shoes, they all report directly to the Red Ajah. Now, obviously the Red Ajah can have eyes and ears anywhere. They can have eyes and ears in Falme, perhaps. I don't know. But that also just feels like it smells Tar Valon-y to me. So I don't know if we're right or wrong about that. The location looks like Tar Valon. It doesn't look like Falme, although we didn't see, like, we saw a lot of the Damane. But I don't have as much of an eye for what looks like Falme as I do for that looks like Tanchico. That looks like Tar Valon. Like, that looks like the Two Rivers. I don't have that for Falme, so I could be wrong. But it looked like Tar Valon, and her reporting directly to the Red Ajah also feels like Tar Valon. But that also lends some credence to this theory, that it will be flashbacks to what happened in that 1 month. Newsreader again. The love shack scene might even happen in the flashbacks. Maybe. Yeah, that could happen. I'm kind of hoping that we'll see that Moiraine took her love shack to Rangreal with her. So maybe we'll get, ways that they can meet. Ooh. Sorry, I'm just realizing what that's going to mean, though, is that after Siuan is stilled, she's not going to be able to go because it's Terangreal. It's not a dream ring. It's a Terangreal. I'm still saying lets them into Tel'aran'rhiod. But, All right, newsreader again. My goodness. From the books, we know that the Black Ajah members are divided into hearts, yes, consisting of 3 members, each of whom knows another member from a neighboring heart. It makes sense for the Black Sitters of the Hall to be members of neighboring hearts. My guess is that each of the hearts have a contingency plan in place in case any of their members are exposed and they need to flee. Since Liandrin is going to make trouble in the hall anyway, they somewhat prepared themselves even without knowing what's about to go down. Yeah, that is definitely book canon. 3 people in a heart. In the hall, there were definitely 5. Like, there were 4 Black Ajah sisters who came and joined Liandrin. The presumption is, and especially because we see them looking at each other, that they knew who each other were. So I think they will likely keep some of this, but they might not keep the numbers exactly the same, just because, whatever makes for the best. And I would honestly guess, it's just pure, I would guess they picked 4 because it looked good to have, like, Liandrin floating up in, sorry, I covered my own face there with my hand. So to have Liandrin floating in the sky with 4 Aes Sedai under her was how it looked the best. Like, I bet you that's how they chose that. So yeah, I do think that this is true, but maybe not, like, the numbers might not be exact. All right, another one by newsreader. The Red Sitter who protected the warders against the Black Ajah is confirmed to be Sutama Wrath. She could be the current highest of the Red Ajah, like she becomes latest in the books. Or later in the books. Okay, so, like, because they were sitters, Although not even you could have your highest in your Ajah. It doesn't have to be a sitter. Like whoever's highest in the Ajah, that's top secret. It's a weird political thing that the Aes Sedai have. Sitters are not necessarily their leaders, and they keep secret who their leaders are. So that could be the case. In which case, then I do believe that the Reds have lost their highest. Newsreader again. The fact that there were no black sisters among the red sitters and one blue sitter was outed as black. And the posturing, that Lyanna did with the red sitters will give Elaida enough cause to strike out the blue Ajah from the tower completely, along with her own animosity towards them. I could see that. Like, the Reds are going to be mad, like justifiably mad. And like, I talked about this as well in my breakdown, but the Reds are clearly hated. Like, a green sister came around the corner, knocked out a red, and the reaction was, "Oh, thank the light you're here." Not, "Hey!" Like, what on earth? How hated are they? And the reaction, they are going to overcorrect, but I understand their reasoning for that overcorrection. Like, this was incredibly offensive, and again, ordering the videos I'm about to release out, I think it's possible that all 3 of the Reds that were left out of the hall died. Alex is back. Perrin is going to learn more about his wife this season. Maybe that she was a dark friend. Maybe she never loved him. Who knows? But it will help him move on and let her go. Bonus of Beltane happens this season, and he's let the ring go this time. Oh, yeah, because remember he tried to, and then he couldn't? That would be interesting. Because I know there was like that theory going around a lot that she was a dark friend, because there's that scene where she's behind him and she's got the axe and it looks like she's about to bring the axe down on him, not on a Trolloc. It's possible. I kind of have given up on that theory because Layla was not my favorite of like, I generally like a lot of the changes. Layla was a change that I was just like, why do we do that? Why? So I haven't really given that much thought, but okay, this could make that work. I think Rafe made a comment at some point like that there was more to Layla than we knew. So maybe he's been playing the long game. I mean, that makes sense. That's a thing Robert Jordan would do. Drop something early on that is not revealed until later. All right, another one by Alex as the Dark One. Moiraine and Thom Marilyn meet this season so that Moiraine plus Thom ending can be brought about, and so that my adversary, Lesbi Nerdy Reborn, will scream in frustration. I will. No, show. No. Look at me. I got hand tracking just so I could do this. So I could shake my finger. Can I do both? Shake my... Yes! Double finger shaking at you. No. Why do I hear somebody screaming Alex and angrily waving hands? Alex! No, I do not want that. I do not want it. I do not want it, Sam I am. No, I do not like green eggs and ham. Realizing that the moral of that story is to try it first. I've tried this. Just going to point this out. I've tried this. I don't like it. Pilk's back with another theory. We are going to hear Dance with Jack of the Shadows. Okay, I know we are getting a musical number. I've heard even Elaine is going to have a musical number. And Donal? I don't know. Like, these might just be things people are saying in order to make me squeal with glee. I don't know if they're true, but I want it. I want music. I saw Wicked 3 times in theaters. Like, I know the show's not a musical, but I love musicals. I love it. And I love diegetic music in shows. I still find myself singing Weep for Manetheren a lot. Like, please give me more songs. Jack of the Shadows, I don't care. Bring them all to me, please. Please. All right, Mike Golfo-Wolfie is back. Just had a new theory, actually, unless somebody already said it. Sort of similar to the books, but with subtle changes. The band will start to form around Matt as he travels. That's what happens. And the stories about him start growing. That he summoned the heroes and spoke the old tongue as his enemies fell before him. That he's a friend of the dragon. All his boasting will turn to regret. All the sketches people have been drawing of him will drive him mad. And he'll start destroying them as he sees them, deciding he doesn't like the attention after all. Especially after the gazes of Aes Sedai suddenly start taking interest in him. Kind of important. Matt has a chip on his shoulder about the Aes Sedai. Like, people talk about Nynaeve's chip on her shoulder about, like, Moiraine specifically, but the Aes Sedai... Matt's chip, like... Nynaeve's chip, I should say, like Matt's chip in comparison to Nynaeve's, it's a mountain. Nynaeve has a chip, Matt has a mountain. Okay, especially from the gazes of Aes Sedai suddenly taking interest in him, kind of important. He'll try his best to keep a low profile as he desperately and hilariously tries to avoid what's happening. Everyone now calls him Lord Matt for some bloody reason, but by now it's far too late. Before he knows it, he has his own army. Yeah, I would love this. I think that's great. Alex is back. Matt and Min help sneak Lyanna and Siuan out of Tar Valon. Oh yeah, to get them teamed up again. I like them together. They were like a pair. I don't even know. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if they actually really interact that much in the books at all. But I like them together a lot in the show. So yeah, okay. They've experienced leaving the city from season 2, and could be a good way to show off Matt's luck. Especially if the theory of him ending up back in the city due to the red stone archway is true. Okay. Okay, what is the theory about him ending up back in the city due to the red stone archway? Because I think he's just back in the city. Is there a theory I don't know about him ending up there due to, like, that he went, maybe he goes through the door in Tenchiko and comes out in Tar Valon? Would Min have gone with him then? I don't know. I'm trying to piece together this theory that I don't know about that nobody put in my channel. Alex is adding on here. Imagine if they have Matt teaching sparring with Lyanna to show the whole give something else to focus on. Ooh, to help with the loss of the one power. And yes, mild Matt Lyanna shipping. I mean, why not? Matt has charisma with everybody. So yeah. Okay. This will be interesting. Okay, newsreader's back. Where do you think Logain would fit in the story this season? I don't know. I haven't even thought about him. I think he's in the poster, though, right? Sorry, he hasn't shown up in any of the promo materials. We last saw him in Cairhien, in that mental hospital. In the Shadow Rising, he was wandering around the White Tower after being gentled. That's right, and Siuan convinces him to escape with her party in the promise of revenge against the Red Ajah. That leads him to Saladar, where Nynaeve heals his severing. Yeah. It's a very significant event story-wise. Siuan could bring him with her to Tar Valon when she left Cairhien, because he somewhat fulfilled his purpose there. Okay. Because, yeah, he was in Cairhien. Okay. Then the storyline would flow from there. And if they showed this, that would give us more interaction between Siuan and Logain before they are forced to travel together. Okay. Because, yeah, he was in Cairhien. Another way they could do it, if he's like, because this is assuming he has to be in Tar Valon. I'm assuming that Siuan and Lyanna have to escape Tar Valon after the deposition. I keep on calling it a deposition. After the deposing and the stilling, they will have to escape. Maybe they would be going and meet up with him as he's also escaping from Cairhien. Like maybe they meet up, or maybe they go to Cairhien and find him there somewhere. Like that's another way that could work. Because you're right. Logain is a big part, especially of Nynaeve's story. That's a huge part. And just the story in general. Like, that, you know, our people have done something that they couldn't even do back in the Age of Legends. Like, that's a big deal. So, that's interesting. I hadn't even thought about Logain. Hold on, let me just double check something. Okay, so I was just pulling the poster back up to see if he is in the poster. I don't see him anywhere. So I don't think he is on the poster. Okay, another one by Alex as the Dark One. It is not Egwene that adversary is sleeping with during that bubble of evil. It is actually chosen Lanfear, using a mask of mirrors. Oh, are you serious about this? Interesting. Okay. She's hungry for that dragon tea. I mean, that is true. She is. I feel my read on this would be that doing that Lanfear would feel that was beneath her, to get someone to deceive, especially Rand, to deceive him in that way. I mean, it's gross just in general to do that. Like it's gross, but I feel like Lanfear would not want, and even as hungry as she is for that Dragon D, I don't think she would be hungry enough to get it that way. Like. She deceived him by playing the part of Selene, but she wasn't pretending to be somebody he knew. She was being a version of herself that she wanted him to fall for. I don't know. This just feels like it doesn't feel like Lanfear to me. Another newsreader theory. The age at which the one power manifests in women with the ability to channel in the show seems to vary from person to person. We have seen the one power manifest in girls as young as 12 to 13 years old to as old as 20 years old. The power progression in Saidar happens in stages depending on the female channeler's potential. It could take one 6 to 12 years to reach their full potential. That would make the average age for peaking in the power late 20s to early 30s. So if a female channeler has a child at early 20s when her power has yet to reach its maximum, and another in early 30s after peaking in the power with the same partner, would there be any genetic differences between the children? No answer in the book canon for this. Would there be an answer in the show? I don't know. Sorry for the long comment of nothing. I'm trying to think what this has to do with season 3. I don't know. There's a lot of questions. This is not anything to do with season 3, but like if you know Bree's often in my costume, she's on my channel a lot, but she's in a lot of my costume videos. Bree and I have had lots and lots of discussion about Aes Sedai menstruation because Robert Jordan, there's some weird things in the canon that have to do with basically female reproductive health, especially like if among channelers, that just doesn't really make sense. And so I don't know. Goodness, newsreader. Wow, you have so many theories. Alanna and Maxim will be checking out Perrin as a potential warder mate because to Verin, of course, but will be stopped by Faile, like in the books. Yeah, that could totally work. I feel like, sorry, as I'm saying, it works. I was in my book space that it works in the books. I don't know, because it doesn't feel like a human thing to do. And in the show, Alanna and Maxim, his name isn't Maxim in the books, but whatever, they feel more three-dimensional because they're very background characters until they come to the forefront. Well, Alanna does and does a bad thing and then basically fades into the background again. So in the books, Alanna doesn't feel like a fully fleshed out human, but in the show she does. And immediately seeking to replace someone like that, like the assumption I'm having, obviously we know Maxim was in love with Ivan. I feel like Alanna was too, and trying to immediately, it could be possible, but it feels a little cold and callous, and Alanna does not come across as cold. All right, another newsreader one. We will get the iconic line from Land to Rand, death is lighter than a feather, but duty is heavier than a mountain during one of their sword trading sessions this season. Maybe. We're getting them sword training though, that alone is good enough. Yes. All right, this is a theory by, how do I say your name? Found you lost? Maybe? I don't know. All right, I'm rewatching, and on season 1, episode 4, Thom just told Matt, "Don't let me find you hanging someday." Yeah, okay, he did. What do you think? What do we think that if Matt goes through the stone door, it'll be Thom that finds him instead of Rand? Okay, I think Thom is going to be in this season. I think that has been confirmed. I don't think he's on the poster though. I don't want to pull up the poster again, but I think it's been confirmed that he's going to be in season 3. Thom could find him. Thom and Matt are a good pair. Oh, that's interesting. Trying to think what context that could be, but it's hard for me to even make a prediction because I don't know where we're going to encounter Thom. We haven't seen any of him at all in any of the promo. I know people were talking about him being like a person with a guitar in one of the shots, but I don't think he is. You see a guitar, but you don't see any person with him. So I don't know. That would be interesting. Alex again. Matt goes to rescue the Wonder Girls from the Stone of Tear. We aren't getting the Stone of Tear this season, okay. But it's not the Wonder Girls. Oh, but it's not the Wonder Girls locked up. It's Siuan in his old cell. And Liandrin never fixed the hole in the wall. Ah. Okay. That could work. I think we are getting the stone. I think that has been confirmed in an interview by I think it's Rosamund who says it in an interview, like, we haven't forgotten the stone, we're going to do it, don't worry. And I think it's going to happen the way Bree talked about it, like, on my channel years ago, and I've been quoting her ever since, that when Robert Jordan wrote the books, initially he thought there were going to be 6, and Calendar hits at book 3, which is the midpoint of a 6-book series. And then he gets told, just write as many as you want. I could see Calendar coming in later. So I do think we're still going to get the Stone of Tear if we get more seasons. Obviously, this is all contingent on that. But I still like this idea that, like, Siuan is locked up in a cell that Mat was in. Maybe Mat helps free her. And that... Ooh! Oh, do you remember that scene from the books with Siuan when she meets Mat and she tells him, like, the story about, I think it's her uncle, and he, everybody thought he was like a ne'er-do-well, and then her uncle, like, saved a bunch of kids but from a fire, I think, and she asks him, like, will you be there when the flames get high or when the water is high? I'm sure she uses a fish metaphor. I can't remember, but I could see that interaction happening, and then maybe when after she gets, like, deposed, he is there for her in that way, maybe. Crossover with the theory here. My theory, Couladin will attack Tyr instead of Cairhien. Okay, it'll probably be set up for the end of the season. The prophecy of the stone falling, Kalendor, and the Aiel will be changed enough so that it works out this way. To prove he is the dragon, Couladin will go to attack Tyr, with Rand chasing after. I could actually totally see that. I could see that working. So the way you would have to change the prophecy, because the Aiel, like the Karakarn, don't really care about prophecies of the dragon. They care about prophecies of the Karakarn. But maybe you could work it so that the fall of the stone and Kalendor would be part of, the Karakarn prophecy. But then Kalendor is a sword. Ooh, that's interesting. Oh, I got to work this in my brain. But this, I think this could make sense, that he's heading there instead. Yeah. And then they're going there after him, and then, okay, this could work. This could work. A crossover with another theory. Mat will still rescue someone by basically opening the door that they couldn't and admit that that's all he did, but there still will be a thank you. Maybe it'll be Siuan. Basically, I'm guessing they will work in all the online arguments about that whole episode or reference them, but still not get a thank you so they could still be a sticking point down the line. Oh my God, that would be such an inside baseball thing for them to do. All right, that's enough theories for this video. I think I'm actually just going to record more because there's y'all, a lot of thoughts. Anyway, I think I'm going to record some more because I have a bit of a break today, so I can do some more, but this is enough for one video. My goodness. But let me know your thoughts on these theories, and should I even ask for more theories in the comments? I don't know if I will be able to get to them because there's so many theories. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let me know in the comments below. If you like my content and you want to support me, I also have a Patreon that is linked in the description below. To my patrons, as always, thank you so much for your continued support. Couldn't do this without you. Thank you so much. And with that, I am going to end this here. So please like, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.